Rachel's all set, right? We've got that. So we're good to go. Recording has started.
Very good. Well, welcome everybody. Go ahead and call the steering committee membership to order. And Bill, you want to go ahead and do a roll call?
Sure. And just for the folks that, excuse me, can see the shared screen. Recently, I just had the agenda up. I now have the most updated roster. So I'd ask you to all look at it. I need to send this to you. I have not done that yet, but if you happen to see any information that is wrong or needs to be corrected, please put it into the chat or send me an email and I will take care of it. But let's do the roll, right? Pat Chawla. She's not here.
Pat Chawla, yeah, I'm here.
You are. I don't see you on our list. Oh, there you are. Oh, my bad. Thank you.
I'm first on the list.
You on your list, yes.
Okay.
Richard Clark. Allison Cook.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Allison. Tim Diehl.
I'm here.
Greg Gilbert.
Good afternoon.
Ed Lisinski. Geoff Mitchell. Don Mock.
Present.
Bonnie Mulgina. I'm sorry, Bonnie, if I mispronounced that.
Muhigirwa, I'm here.
Oh, sorry about that. Sam Palmer. I saw Sam Steele's on. Manjit Sohi.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello.
Sam Steele.
Here, Bill.
Sean Toomey.
I'm here.
Dan Weed. No PMG representation. That's okay. And we have Rachel Parrish.
Oh, I think Dan is on the line. When
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw Dan.
I do see Dan. Yep, Dan. Can you?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes,
There we
Dan. Yes,
go.
thank you. Great. Thank you for joining. Rachel Parrish.
I'm here.
Rachel. Ron Hampton, our Board of Director Liaison.
Yes, I'm present.
Thank you, Ron. Bill Nash is here, and Ron Piester.
Here.
Are there any other staff members? I don't think any liaisons are on the call. I don't see any. Anybody else I missed? Very well. I will send this roster to you all. I'll put it into the chat and then you can pull it and then check it and hopefully get back to me with any changes, but I'll leave it at that for now.
Very good. We'll go ahead and take reports from our Board of Directors Liaison, Director Hampton. If you want to go ahead and start.
Thank you, Chairman Diehl. Well, I don't want to steal Bill's thunder if he's got any for the GR, so I'll be real brief. Next week on the 6th, we have a board meeting in Orlando. Of course, we're followed by Leadership Week and the code hearings. And Building Safety Month will be here before you know it. So let's get them proclamations in and let's get out there and visit those schools. I'll keep it very brief. Thank you. Glad to be here.
All right. Thank you, sir. I think Ron Piester, I think we'll hold on to you for a little bit unless you want to say something right now.
I'm at your convenience, Mr. Chair.
I kind of want to hold on till we get to old business and then I'll let you take over from there.
Very good.
As far as the reports from the chair, it's been a very busy week and we're getting ready, of course, for Orlando. Looking forward to seeing everybody in person there and just staying busy legislative. And of course, the code hearings coming up. Hopefully everybody's preparing for that. Allison, a report.
So I don't have much more to add to this. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. I do think, and I'm sure we'll get into this in the old business, but the big thing is making sure that at the end of this year, we do have a report prepared out of our steering committee, and we're getting all the information and things from our various membership councils until then. That's really the main focus I think we've been working on, Tim.
Okay, and I apologize, I skipped over the approval of the minutes. So I'll kind of take that as the secretary's report too right now. Looking for if everybody has seen the minutes from the last meeting in January.
Mr. Chair, nobody's seen the minutes because they don't exist just yet. That was prior to our appointment of Rachel as the secretary, and I still owe the minutes, so I'll have those as best I can get together for the April meeting.
Very good.
But you can still, as I'll point out, you still can click here, folks, and get right to the meeting directly, as I do on all of our agendas.
So Rachel, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself as secretary real quick?
Sure. I'm Rachel Parrish. I have the honor / volunteered for extra work position of secretary here. I do the minutes for you guys. And yeah, if you need anything, I'm going to jump in on the old business with the annual report a little later.
Very good. Bill, go ahead and staff liaison report.
Sure. Excuse me. Thank you, Tim. So as you all can see the agenda, those of you that have followed the Building Membership Council group, this is something I do on our agendas. I'll put a link to, of course, our, as Director Hampton referred to, our GR update, which is done by Rick Hoffey. And there's a link here. We'll bring you right to it. Of course, I won't go through all of it for you, but I want to point out a couple of things. First off, I want to make sure that if you're not getting this regularly from your GR rep, please let me know, let your GR rep know. And this is a valuable information piece that we put out. It's been very popular over the last year or two. Rick Hoffey has done a great job of providing this for you to share, and in digital format, of course, to print, share away, and make sure people get all the information that is necessary in the world that we live in. So please make sure you get that out to everybody and to your various councils. I did want to point out this water world awareness that right off the top. This is something that I won't get into, but more recently you likely received a email from your GR app, and I'll just click on this here. And this is a World Water Awareness letter that we're asking our members and jurisdictions to sign on to. And this is very simple. This link I'll put, once we get going into the meeting, I'll put this link into the chat, but it's also on the report, of course. I'd ask you all to share it and sign on to this letter in support of World Water Awareness that ICC is promoting, of course. So I don't have much more on that. Maybe Dan, we can elaborate a bit, but for now, I'll just leave it at that relative to what's on our government relations updates. And then again, awful lot of good information. We'll talk more about the leadership week in Orlando coming up, and then of course the Group A code hearings. Of course, you've all heard from GR staff on the recce grants. Please, keep your members and jurisdictions informed of all of that. That's some good information. One of the great tools that we've put out from Stella Carr, many of you probably know Stella. She's put out this grant matrix, which kind of helps you navigate. Is this a grant for me? Do I check the box here? Can I slide here? So it's a good flow chart of what you might or might not qualify for. So please get that out to your members and see, again, deadline. We have an awful lot of activity around the recce grants. Of course, want to give Utah some props for adopting and legislatively adopting the 1200 and 1205 for our off-site construction standards. Good on you all from Utah for that. Relative to modular construction. Let's see what else. What else is important here? That everything's important, folks. Right? We're coming into a busy time for everybody. Our 30th anniversary. I want to encourage everybody to share with your membership the 30th anniversary webpage guest book that you can sign and go into and leave your video memories or video thoughts on what ICC has meant to you over 30 years of what you may recall. It's actually a pretty cool video that we're putting together. So there's some old and new faces in there for sure, but certainly some oldies but goodies that I think you'll get a kick out of seeing some people that have chimed in. So please consider doing that. We'll talk more about the annual conference shortly. Let's see, I'll spin through here. Voter validation deadline. We've touched on that a bit in recent membership councils. Obviously, that's come and gone. The membership validation that you need to do prior to for this entire cycle for membership validation. Of course, we've missed deadlines again for council awards. That program you all are aware of. I'll just point that out. Please, look into that and keep that on your radar as well. And plumbing, fuel, gas, I'll hold off on that and I'll let Dan chime in if he needs to. But yeah, that's it. Again, we'll talk more about the other items pertinent to our agenda shortly. But I just wanted to keep this on your radar. Make sure you share it and ask questions and get the information that you need to keep servicing your membership and your jurisdiction. So that's all I have, unless anybody has any questions. I'm going to grab this right now and I'll put it into the chat. That's all I have.
All right, very good. Thank you, Bill. Keeping us up to date as always. Move into old business. Of course, the big topic is the in-person meetings coming up next week in Orlando, Leadership Week. We have a very busy schedule there. As you can see by the agenda, some arriving Friday, some Saturday, but we do have a big event that we're going to be part of as far as the membership councils on Saturday. And I'll go ahead and I'll turn it over to Ron Piester to kind of go over those updates and everything else that is expected for those 2 days, Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. Tim gave you a quick overview of ICC Leadership Week. This is an event that we are
I think Ron froze.
That's a great way to get out of things, Ron. I'm going to start doing that.
Yeah, freezing.
Am I
thought it was me.
Am I frozen?
There you go. Now you're back.
Now you're back.
You froze for a minute.
You froze for another minute.
Another minute. You can always blame it on the bandwidth. We may have lost Ron totally.
He's not frozen. He's very cold.
Well,
Are you there, Ron?
yeah, I think Ron's kind of really, I think he lost it this time.
We'll have to come back.
Yeah, I think we'll come back to the Ron, especially for Saturday. Saturday is going to be, I want him to really kind of go over what's going to happen on Saturday. Sunday, of course, first thing in the morning, so we'll all be awake and ready to go. 8 o'clock, we'll have our steering committee meeting at 8 a.m. It should only take an hour. That is open to all the members of the membership councils also. We will go over a couple discussions at that point in time. And then, of course, at 9 o'clock, we will all break to go to our separate membership council meetings. I know some are kind of pushing that back a little bit, starting a little bit later, but we still hope to have everybody at the general meeting at 8 a.m. At noon time, there was going to be another panel discussion. Again, I'll let Ron get into that. But go ahead, Bill.
I'm sorry.
I thought you wanted to chime in there a minute, but that's okay.
I mean, I can and fill in until Ron gets in if you like.
Yep, be my guest.
So I'll just back up briefly to the early arrival dinner. I'm not, and some of you have certainly indicated that you won't be here at the meeting, but if you are coming in on Friday, we have still not made any arrangements. Maybe Ron can chime in, but I don't believe we have any official arrangements on that yet. So hold that thought. And Ron will certainly update on our keynote speaker. Of course, everybody by now knows that it's Dr. Henry Green, who is speaking on the leadership, and then, of course, our roundtable, of which currently our panelists are Tim, Allison, and who was Rich Truitt was going to be asked as the chair of the Professional Development Committee, and I'm not sure whom he selected for areas. Ron, are you with us?
I'm trying to be with you. I apologize for the technical difficulties. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Yes.
Yeah, you're back now.
Okay. Well, I'll try
We
to stay
can.
on this time. So the Henry Green, past president of the Code Council and also former CEO of the National Institute of Building Sciences, is going to be our keynote speaker. He is then going to moderate a panel of leaders from across the Code Council, and Bill was mentioning chair and vice chair of the steering committee, Tim and Allison. Rich Truitt is the chair of the Professional Development Council, and we've selected a chapter leader who will be at the Chapter Leadership Academy to join that panel as well. So I think it's going to be a really interesting discussion, and any of you who have heard Henry Green speak or know Henry can be assured that it's going to be a very interesting event. So really looking forward to that. Saturday evening, there's going to be a reception that everyone is invited and encouraged to attend. We're a little bit early this year, but we're going to be kicking off Building Safety Month at a reception that evening. On Sunday morning, we'll start out with a meeting of your steering committee from 8 to 9 a.m. And one of the areas of focus of that will be, as Rachel mentioned, starting to talk about the membership council singular annual report to the board of directors. As you may remember, the board's revisions to the council policies changed the reporting structure such that there is only one report from the membership councils that's presented to the board, and that's presented by the steering committee on behalf of the membership councils. So you'll be talking about that. We'll also be talking a little bit about what will be coming up at the annual conference. And there's a project that I'm going to be pitching to you to see if you'd be interested in participating in. It's related to a new career resource for our members that I'll describe to you during that meeting. You'll then have your individual governing committee meetings, and then from noon to 2 o'clock, there will be a lunch provided and a panel discussion hosted by FLASH, the Federal Alliance for Safe Homes. followed by which the committee action hearings for Group A, the first committee action hearings for Group A will begin at 2 p.m. Oh, so with that, if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Any questions for Ron? Don't see any, but like I said, it's going to be a busy weekend. Looking forward to it and getting everybody together so we can start working, as Ron mentioned, on that annual report. And from there. Moving on is just a reminder and a review of CP9 that was approved that created this. And it just to kind of review some of the roles and responsibilities for this group. We are to conduct an annual meeting in conjunction with the annual conference. And the annual meeting will present a summary of the annual report, and will nominees and alternatives for the governing council or committee's seats. So the big thing that this group was kind of tasked with was making sure that we were coordinating as a group, any issues to the board, from the board, back and forth. It was collaborate on other issues that affect each of the councils, maybe unknowingly, that we can work on and coordinate together. So really, a lot of this is going to be gathering information and exchanging information during these meetings that we're having. And I can't emphasize enough that, that's what we would like to do. Allison, go ahead.
I just had one question on the reporting part. Ron, did you get approval or confirmation about kind of the sequence or order of reporting that we had talked about from our last? You were going to reach out to Will Kaufman.
Yes, thank you. If I can, through the chair, to Allison, I did receive confirmation from Will Kaufman, who is one of the executive assistants to the board, that you're, again, the policy does not dictate specifically when you would provide your annual report to the board. However, there was some discussion about possibly presenting the annual report as part of the Board of Directors' December agenda, as opposed to presenting the report at the at their meeting during the annual conference. And Will indicated that should not be a problem. So if you choose to present the annual report as part of the board's December agenda, that will be perfectly acceptable.
Mr. Chair, would you like to kind of share that timeline with the committee now?
Allison, go ahead. You got the ball rolling. Go right ahead.
Sure, thank you. So for the committee's approval, basically one of the things is talking about, we had a conversation, is when to start providing this report. And the notion is that if every September, October annual conference going forward, as we vote in new members and that sort of thing, we take the time to set the agenda for our membership and pick 2 or 3 clear deliverables. We can report up for each of our membership councils to the steering committee with those, and that those goals for the following year can go to the board in December with a report about the actions for the past year. That year, every time the board is getting a report in December that says, hey, last year we told you these goals, and here's how we accomplish them. And this coming year, you're going to see us working on these things. And that way it would be kind of a cyclical thing, so that after that board meeting, we're getting a midway report at our mid-year meeting in March or April or May, whenever we have those every year. So everybody can report out, hey, we set these goals in September. Hey, back to the steering committee, here's where we are in those goals, if we need to shift or change them, or, whatever challenges we might have run into or successes we had. And then it's September, hey, here's we finalized well before our September meeting. Here's how we did on those goals, and here's our new goals. And it's just like a cyclical thing of here's our 2 or 3 deliverable things. And again, it doesn't have to be, a lot of us are already doing this good work, right? Like people are already putting on trainings, people are already putting out white papers, people are already engaging members in vote for your codes initiatives and letting people know how to participate. But I think that's the timeline we were talking about. I think typically we've provided the reports in September, but the challenge with that is then consistently reporting like the new goals as we vote on a new group of members. I don't know if folks like this idea, have questions about it.
I know Rachel has a question or a comment.
Rachel?
Sorry, guys. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
So if the board is amenable or committee, what I'm planning on doing is bringing a timeline for both, if you want the annual report in September versus the annual report in December, and timelines on when I need items for that to get it all finalized and then sent back to y'all for review and everything like that. And then I'm also planning on doing a template of the information that I need from each of the membership councils, basically, so that it's going to make it easier so that I don't get a mishmash of information and I'm missing good chunks. I don't want to have to go back to you guys multiple times for it. So if y'all are both good with that, I plan on coming to this meeting in Florida with that information already in hand.
Now that would be great. That would be, and we can go over it and kind of determine where we're going to fall. Thank you, Rachel.
Awesome.
Other questions, comments?
I think, Mr. Chair, the only other thing we talked about is that reminding membership councils ahead of September, and it might be work they want to do at the mid-year, is that they can create their own guidance or goals. It's not a separate charter, but for example, I believe fire service, ELMC, and building, and possibly others had some guidance or limitations on the members of, or not the members, the governing committee members of their membership council. So folks may want to take a look at establishing, it's a basic document that if you have some requirements for governing members, I don't know, Tamara or Ron, if you remember what we were referring to that document, but basically CP9 lets you create your own guidance for that. It just can't supersede anything within the council policy.
Correct. Yeah, and I know we haven't really dove into that yet in the fire service, but that'll be another one of those topic discussions I think we have in person when we come in person as to who may need them, who may not, and kind of go from there. We'll put that on an agenda item for Orlando.
Yeah, I think, Mr. Chair, if I could, I think that's a good point. There are, we mentioned the several councils now that have provisions within their charter to that are specific to that, and I think we want to point our MCs, governing committees, to look at those, make sure that they're not doing that. So I think we want to make a note of that and touch on it certainly at our next meeting, which will be ultimately obviously in April in Orlando, with an audience of many membership council governing committee members. So I think we want to make mention of that, and we'll have to include that on the agenda.
Yes. And, going along with that is while we're in Orlando, I'm hoping that most of the membership councils do have, good representation from the members of their councils. I know fire is going to be able to have just about everybody from the council there. So it will be, from us, what we're looking at as a very successful opportunity to get everybody together. And I'm just hoping the other membership councils are going to be able to do the same. Along those lines, it will be an ask, and I'll remind everybody on Sunday that we are going to ask that each of the councils take a few moments from their meeting and to get photos of the attending members of the governing councils. We'd like to be able to use those photos later on in the annual report, as well as other, items that we can promote and send up to the board. So we're going to be asking that, and I'll remind everybody that morning also. The other part of that you see C is the meeting dates. What we're going to try to do is organize and put out a calendar with all the membership councils meeting dates, so that we can see when those meetings are occurring. Most of us now have standard times or for our meetings. So we're just trying to get them all coordinated and laid out on a calendar. And I think Bill is trying to collect those and get them there.
Yeah, that's correct, Mr. Chair. I think we're hoping to use maybe Monday as we talk about in our next item. But yeah, some way to coordinate in a better format to kind of try to keep track of all the meetings that everybody is responsible for, and so that we can get a decent look at it. It's been a challenge over the last several years, so maybe that's something we'd like to make happen with this group.
Manjit, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just as a point of interest, because of the different time zones and different countries and different regions in this world, our meetings are going to be all over the clock. And some are 2 or 3 a.m. our time, or sometimes they're going to be 2 or 3 a.m. some other time. So what I could do is I could share those from GMC's point of view when our meetings are scheduled with you. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Patricia?
As complementary to that, and knowing turnover on the different membership councils, is there, I guess, thinking of a way of how easy it is to coordinate? Because I know that the Sustainability Membership Council tries to attend other meetings, and I know other councils try to attend our meetings, and sometimes it happens that we fall off email lists. Maybe an easy way so we know to know who's doing what meeting in that way, the email list and coordination there.
Yeah, I know we're trying. And here again, I think as we move through and try to expand the use of the Monday platform for a while, that we'll be able to use those to push those emails out. So, if there's no other old business, we'll move into the new business, which is the use of the Monday platform, which we're trying to use, as some of you may or may not know, the old matrix. That was the spreadsheet that was used to kind of record and exchange information between the councils prior to this. The Monday platform is a similar web-based platform. Everyone should have gotten an invite. If you haven't gotten an invite, please email, Bill, Allison, or myself, so we can make sure that you can get into it. I know there are several people who have tried and had some issues. What we're going to try to take, one of the ideas or hopes that we're going to have some time in Orlando for that face-to-face, that we can actually walk through some people and walk through this, so that you can actually see how it operates, get in, and we can make sure everybody's into it properly. Bill has it pulled up on the screen. This is what it looks like when you do get in there. We have folders, we have descriptors. And Allison, you want to say any more about this, since you're into it a little bit more than I am?
I know this is different for folks. I do want to mention for those of you who are familiar with the spreadsheet, we moved away from things being like building service or ELMC or fire service, and move them into what it is. So it's like it's internal governance like the charter review, or it's building safety month. So if ELMC and sustainability and building membership are all doing building safety month things, that way when we go to report on the board, it can be a comprehensive, here's all the stuff your membership councils did on building safety month, rather than necessarily being, certainly we will be highlighting, you know, each council's work, but I just want to mention that to folks as you go to add things in here. If you want to set up time with myself or anyone else to kind of walk through, like, hey, this is the first time I'm adding things in, I'm more than happy to do that. This is just super easy. Like, the reason we moved towards this direction is this is super easy to get reports out of. Anyone can view and see this, and it does, I believe, integrate with some of the new tools that I believe ICC is going to have for members coming forward in the next year. So, you know, whether this is temporary or we shift over to that tool once that tool is up and running, it's just a new kind of interface to get used to and easier reporting.
And as you can see, you know, there are the color tabs to easily see which, you know, membership council is adding the information, putting the information in. So, you know, here again, that's part of that reporting tool, that we can easily use this to assist with creating that annual report, or sending items up to the board, or if they come down, creating those new projects as needed. Again, you know, I kind of urge everybody to go in and at least take a look at it. You know, if you see something, please try to add it. And if you have any questions, please let us know. We'll do our best to walk you through. But like I said, in Orlando, we really want to try to do a hands-on if possible. So yeah, Patricia, that's what I've heard from a couple people. And we're not really sure why that's occurring right now. So that's something I think Allison and Bill and I are that's why we want to do the in-person, because it's hard to see what you're looking at through another computer, and it's easier in person, I think. Any other comments, questions concerning the Monday platform? The next topic is the annual conference, of course, in Long Beach. Here again, you can see the call for presentations is March 31st, so the end of this week. Hopefully every council has been able to get something submitted and get that on track. Ron, do you want to talk about the tentative schedule for the elections?
Sure, Mr. Chair. At this point, there is no tentative schedule for elections. We're still working on that. What we are hoping to do is to begin a transition from sort of manual, let's call them paper ballot type elections, or the traditional elections that you've used in the past, to something that would use technology, some sort of electronic election, resources, but we have not determined what is going to be the best course of action for this particular year. As the Vice Chair mentioned, the Code Council is preparing to launch a comprehensive member engagement platform that will allow for interaction among the membership councils, from our chapters, our committees, our councils, and all of our volunteer engagement groups, and our membership as a whole. And that platform does include capacity for polling and or elections. And so we're hoping that that we'll be able to use that to help facilitate a more streamlined election process for you in the future. The question that we're facing is, are we going to are we going to be able to do that this year or not, based on where we are in terms of launching the platform. And my crystal ball is telling me we probably are going to not be ready to do that, only because the platform will be launched. But I think it's really important that all of your councils be comfortable using the platform before we start to use it with increased capacity. So that's a long-winded way of saying we will have an election process for you. It will be effective and help you to make the decisions that you need to make, but we haven't quite reached a point where we know exactly how that process will be conducted. But as soon as we do, we'll make sure to share that with all of you. Thank you.
Very good. Anybody else comments on that? All right, moving to the bigger part of the meeting. Reports from the membership councils, building membership. Rachel or Allison, want to take that on?
We have some exciting things that are coming up with Building Safety Month. Elizabeth Arrington has been doing a lot of good work in terms of trying to get some member profiles highlighted. So you'll be seeing a survey come out from us. Please fill that out so we can highlight folks on social media of the good work they do. And we are also working on acknowledging membership. Other than that, in terms of like deliverables or action items for the membership steering committee, we are still looking for folks to participate in some of our innovation efforts or initiatives. And those are really the big things coming out of Building Membership Council right now.
Okay, very good. Emerging leaders.
Good afternoon, folks. Greg Gilbert,
Yep.
Vice Chair. So we are all looking forward to Orlando. In Orlando at our meeting, we plan on having Philip Anthony from Digital Codes come and give a quick presentation on using digital codes and digital codes premium and some of those benefits. I know they've been around for a year or two now, and not everybody has a full handle on it. So we thought that would be a good, quick educational presentation. We're also, did a quick little reiteration of the Vote for Your Codes video before the membership validation ended. We have a few video ideas in the works. I know I stopped by, I believe it was Fires meeting the other day, and just if you see us around in Orlando doing any sort of quick vids and we try and grab you, just pop in for a second. It'd be very helpful to get some other folks in there. And that's pretty much the highlights. Now working on a couple other initiatives, as far as membership drives and stuff like that, that we would like to join up with, but we're still kind of working out some details and putting together some working groups to kind of pull some people into. So once we get that more underway, we'll definitely let you know. And that's I think it, unless Bonnie, you have anything else.
No, thanks, Greg.
Very good. Thank you very much. Fire service, I'll go ahead and let Sean report out.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. We've been having some good meetings. The last couple of meetings, the attendance is pushing 60 to 70 people between the council members and the interested parties. I've had some great education. So if you're interested, by all means, jump on. The emerging issues work group has kind of reworking a PowerPoint presentation, I think, which will be good. Doing final touches on that now, just to kind of give a snapshot of what the membership council does and what they've kind of been watching. really taking a hard look at the single egress concerns coming across in the various areas of the country, and then impacts on sprinklers for 3 and 4 family dwellings, or beyond the already kind of challenges to 1 and 2 family. Also following a lot with the battery energy storage ad hoc committee pretty closely. As the chair indicated, we've got a really good showing down in Orlando, so we're looking forward to that. Hoping to have some great conversation with our work groups on some of the goals for the coming year, and I think it will line up well with the report that we're working on. So, Mr. Chair, I don't know if I missed anything, but I think that's a quick summary.
I think you did an excellent job, Sean. Thank you very much. Global membership. I know Geoff or Manjit.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much, Manjit Sohi from Global Membership Council, Vice Chair. Geoff Mitchell is probably not attending because it's 6 a.m. Tomorrow time, so it might be a little bit difficult for him to come to attend some of these meetings. So you'll most likely be having me. At a global membership, we face some different challenges. One of the projects that we initiated, we've been working on for the last about a year or so, but once the CP9 policy was under review, so we kind of put a hold on it, is trying to create a value proposition for why someone should join Global Membership Council and then ICC subsequently. Because as you know, most of our global membership council members, they may or may not be the iCode users. However, there are some other services that we used, and then some of the influence through GMC and some of the outreach, whether it's a MENA or Oceanic offices being created. So we are working on, we created a survey, and the survey is being pushed out to members to see what is it that, other than the building code, that you're here for. Why would you travel 24 hours to come in and attend a meeting? In a case like Geoff, or someone attending a meeting at 2 a.m. on their local time, like from the Republic of Georgia, and so on and so forth. So we are working on that. And in addition to that, we are also developing webinars. And what we are planning to do with the webinars is have the speakers and then try to present them in 2 different time zones. One a live, one a recorded that, then the next time replay that recorded webinar, and then have the presenter or the host of that presenter of that webinar come back and answer some questions at the end. And the topics are that could be interest to all over the globe, whether the ICC members or not. So trying to bring some awareness. And as far as this weekend's meeting, I'll be the lone representative of GMC, and I'm also being asked to be as part of the roundtable. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to our meeting at 8 a.m. But I'll be flying out, I think, by the Sunday afternoon sometime from there. But arriving on a Friday, 2-3 a.m. and it's by the time you come from West Coast, you shot a day. But I'm looking forward to and spending some time with and getting to know some of the steering committee members. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Can you hear me, Tim?
Yep, I was going to say, I thought I saw you on there, sir.
Yeah, it's Geoff here, and it's not 6 a.m., it's 5 a.m. Sorry, I slept through the alarm. It just in addition to what our Manjit just advised, we've decided that we've planned our calendar for the year, and we're going to have guest speakers at our main meetings. So in view of the fact we've got guest speakers and probably extra people on board, we're holding meetings of the executive council members in between that, just to do some of the day-to-day business, so we don't bog down a presentation type meeting with general business type elements that probably aren't really suited to people outside of the council. And we've had one of those meetings. We've also had our first quarterly meeting, and as I said, I'll send publish that out for you. We've got that to add to the calendar, and as Manjit said, we're actually staggering the time, so it will be different times for each quarter when we have our meetings. Thanks for that. I'm sorry about being late.
No, not a problem. Thank you for being up. To our newest council, major jurisdictions, Sam.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, thank you for having us on here. Since we're new to the council rules, we're still forming our strategies and fulfilling the compliance to become a council. With that being said, that will be our main meeting objective on April 7th at 10 a.m. And our dinner is going to be held at night at 7 p.m. We've got plans for 6 speaker held meetings throughout the year, along with our 2 ABMs, or spring and fall. And we also want to make sure that we get a lot of our council liaisons reporting to us somehow. If you care to drop it into the chat, if you're a liaison for major jurisdictions, we appreciate your attendance. So that's all I've got for now.
Very good. Appreciate it. Look forward to continuing to work together to get everything established. Plumbing, mechanical gas. Ooh, sorry. Dan?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Oh, okay. So with PMG Membership Council, we have been working on something we call 4 corner events. And that is kind of taking the whole 4 corners of the US and trying to have some meetings with even contractors and as well as inspectors that would inspect plumbing, mechanical, and gas and pools and things like that, and try to show them what ICC can do for them, what resources ICC would offer. A lot of times, especially for inspectors, maybe they're not aware of the things that are available. Maybe the building official goes to meetings, but it's possible that the plumbing and mechanical guys don't. And so we're trying to make them, as well as plumbing contractors in their area, more aware of the codes, the electronic codes that are available, even to download on their phone and have in the field, and to be able to look things up quickly. As well as, there's a whole list of things that ICC could do for them, especially chapter. And so one of the things that is happening when we're in Orlando is Saturday morning from 8 a.m. till about noon, I think. We are having a 4 corners event, and we'll be presenting a slideshow to any of the inspectors and contractors in the Orlando area, and doing the same thing with them and trying to get the word out so that we have more ICC memberships, more chapters, people tied to ICC and able to use some of the benefits that are available to them. So that's been a major goal. We're constantly tweaking it. Our next tweak, we want to take some of the education aspect of it and begin to meet up with more of the high school students and encourage them to become code-minded and look at a career that may be in PMG. And oftentimes them like that type of thing. They might not have to get a college degree necessarily, but they could come out of school and begin to get involved and realize that ICC is a resource to help them testing all kinds of things that they could use. So that's been something that we're focusing on this year, and will continue to grow as we refine and fine tune that goal.
Okay, very good. Thank you, sir. Sustainability. Don.
Hi, thank you, Mr. Chair. Don Mock, Chair of the Sustainability Membership Council. As y'all know, one of our big things is the Building Safety Month videos, which will be coming up in May. So if you get approached by Hope or Josh to help with a video, please, please, please get back to them. We greatly appreciate it. Some of the things we're working on with a lot of changes coming down the road with the new energy code, we're going to be looking at trying to push some training, especially for our code officials for the energy code and also the green construction code. And we also want to try and push adoption of the green construction code. Those are some of the things that we are currently working on. Patricia, do you have anything to add?
No, I think you covered it all. Maybe one thing is those videos for Building Safety Month, we also post on LinkedIn. So getting those likes and shares and impressions is always important too. So if you see something, like it for us.
Yeah, good point. Thank you, Patricia. I think that's all we got.
All right, very good. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. As you can see, all the councils were all doing good jobs, great jobs, and pushing it out there. So we want to make sure that we capture all that for that annual report. Closing thoughts in our next meeting. The intention is to have these meetings the fourth Tuesday of every odd month. We'll keep it at 3 o'clock. Hopefully that'll make it easier for everybody to get in. Global, I understand. We'll get you in when we can. Anybody else have any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing any, our next meeting will be Sunday, April 7th at 8 a.m. I look forward. Greg, go ahead, sir.
I just wanted to note real quick, I know it was brought up before, some of the MCs are going to be pushing their times back. Just wanted to confirm that ELMC will be starting at 10 o'clock so that we can join some of your meetings. And if you finish early, feel free to come stop by ours.
Great, appreciate it. I think that's what we're all trying to do. Nothing else? I look for a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Very good. I appreciate it and look forward to seeing everybody next weekend. Take care. Be safe.
Be safe. Thank you.
See
Thank you very much.
Take care.
See you all.
See ya.
All right, bye.
Diehl.